Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is where we cover practical monitoring and evaluation practices and project planning and management. So in today's video, we're going to look at us unveiling the art of monitoring and evaluation. What are the best practices and techniques? These are all going to be revealed in this video. Unveiling the art of monitoring and evaluation. So some of the best practices and techniques, I'm going to be explaining each one by one, how you can actually use these best practices. This is what makes monitoring and evaluation an art, not only what? Science. So one, we have the logic models and frameworks. As a monitoring and evaluation expert or consultant or specialist or coordinator or manager, you really have to use the logic models and frameworks in your monitoring and evaluation. So you can develop logic frameworks or logic models or M&E frameworks and outline them using your program theory of change. You link them to the theory of change. So as you well know, the frameworks include the inputs, activity, outcomes, and outputs. So these can help you in visualizing your program theory of change and identifying the indicator. Another practice or technique you need to know and use in your M&E is creating smart indicators. This is very important for you to know how you're progressing in your project and to also do effective evaluations at the end of your project or midterm projects. And SMART, you all know these are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound indicators. They'll help you measure progress towards your outcome and impacts. But it's very important for you as an M&E practitioner to develop SMART indicators. It's a very good technique and also a practice to do or to have in your M&E. Then you are setting your baselines and targets for the projects when you're doing your frameworks. It's very important. It's a good practice, very best practice. All M&E worldwide are using to set your baselines and then targets, because when you know your baselines, you know how you can target realistically. Now, if maybe right now Uganda is giving nets to all households in Uganda, and they're targeting if you're a family of 4, they give you two. They give you two nets. So also that was based on their baseline values. Maybe last time they targeted, they were saying that maybe this average of Ugandans don't have nets, so we're going to target this number. So it's also very important for you as a practice and as a technique, core technique, when you're doing your framework and logical frameworks, to set your baselines and also your targets for the indicators to measure their progress over time. Then we look at data management. Data management, this includes core data collection techniques and data analysis techniques. And it's a very good practice. Best practices now to use a mixed methods approach when you're using your data collection or data management. So mixed methods are both quantitative and qualitative data collection techniques you can use, and there can be surveys. M&E right now is using surveys, interviews, focus groups, observation, and case studies to collect your data on any of your project. Case studies are normally for qualitative data, but for even quantitative and qualitative, you can use surveys. Interviews normally qualitative data, focus groups qualitative, observation is qualitative data. So surveys and questionnaires are very good for quantitative data. That is one of also a very good technique and best practice in monitoring and evaluation. Then data quality assurance, very important for you as an M&E practitioner to ensure that your data is accurate, reliable, and complete, and timeliness. Yeah, so it's very important when you're doing your data validation that you check, you clean your data very well and do validation when you've done your data. You've collected your data, you've entered your data. It's very important to ensure that it's of high quality and no errors, and it's very valid for data analysis. It's a good practice as an M&E practitioner. Then in data analysis, it's very important as an M&E practitioner. There's so many softwares right now you can use really to analyze your data: SPSS, STATA, Excel, R, Power BI. There are so many, and those are for basically quantitative analysis. But if you're looking at qualitative analysis, you can use thematic or content analysis for qualitative data. So it's also very good practice as an M&E practitioner to use the softwares when you're analyzing your data. It makes you be out there on the top. Then you look at the feedback and iterative learning. It's another good best practice of M&E. When you're doing your analysis of your dashboards, it's very good for you to incorporate any feedback loops to learn from your data or to adapt new strategies or improve interventions continuously. It's very good to create a feedback mechanism in your data, also in your project implementation. That if it's a community project, there has to be the community feedback or dialogue box for you to get feedback on how you're progressing in your project and how you can also improve continuously. So it's a good practice as an M&E practitioner to have and adapt when you're doing your monitoring and evaluation. That makes you the art of monitoring and evaluation, that you're including it. Feedback is also now a very good approach, since M&E is going very well participatory, to have the community engagement, to make it more participatory in the process of monitoring and evaluation. Then reporting and visualization. This is another good practice as M&E. You know that you have to report to the projects, report to the donors, report to the community. So it's very important when you're designing your report to make them fast, precise, and to the point, very clear and precise. Then it's important to use data visualization to communicate some of these findings in a very simple way. And with data visualization, you can use graphs, charts, dashboards, to communicate your results easily. And also it should be a readable report, an understandable report, so that to any of your people you're reporting to, any feedback you have to give is very clear to anyone. They can easily understand your reports. But it's also very important to use visuals. That's one of the best practices now, and a technique for you to use visuals in your reports. It makes them very compelling and understandable even to the low person. Then participatory methods or approaches are another technique and best practice of M&E. It's a good art for you to involve your stakeholders and beneficiaries in the monitoring and evaluation process. This helps them to own the process, to own the project. And if you're doing your data collection and analysis, it improves your accuracy of the data, because you see have been involved in the whole process. So when you present your reports to them, it's kind of an owned intervention, an owned initiative. So it ensures that the program also meets its needs. Participatory approach is the way to go. It's the way M&E is unraveling. It's the art of M&E right now. So it's very important for you to include it in your work. If you've not been doing it, kindly shape your M&E to being more participatory. Then leveraging technology. Technology right now, you see AI, machine learning is out there. Yes, leverage technology is a very good best practice now. To leverage technology in your data collection. There are so many mobile data collection softwares out there, online surveys and databases for data collection. There are so many. Leverage technology. There is ODK, there is Google Forms, there are so many Really, you can leverage. There is a SurveyMonkey. There are so many. So leverage technology to improve your data collection process. You have to go paperless right now. Really, if you're in the era, unless the community is so poor they can't access any smartphones, really it's the era of what? Technology. So leverage technology to streamline your M&E processes, and this will help you improve accuracy in your data analysis. And evaluation designs. This is also a technique, but also best practice. It's very important for you to use appropriate evaluation designs based on the program and nature of resources available. So there are many evaluation designs: the experimental, the quasi-experimental, the non-experimental. These you have to make sure that you utilize an appropriate evaluation design according to the program you have. For example, you may have maybe that this is maybe a school intervention, and then you may have to just use mixed method evaluation designs. So it all depends on the program or initiative you're doing, but leverage using the appropriate evaluation designs. A good practice to make you stand out and also to have your M&E process run smoothly. Then ethical considerations is very good other practice that as you're doing your M&E, it's very good in all the process of M&E. It's very good to uphold ethical considerations regarding confidentiality of data, informed consent before you collect any data from the participants, and protection of participants' data and privacy. They are very good ethical standards, and also best practice in M&E to have when you're doing your monitoring and evaluation processes. So that has been it today in us unveiling the art of M&E. What best practices and techniques you can use. Just to go back on them, we've said we use M&E frameworks and logic models, and you have to use smart indicators, develop smart indicators, data analysis and management, leverage technology in your data analysis and data collection. Using the appropriate evaluation designs, then the ethical considerations. Thank you so much. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. Kindly subscribe and share those videos. It helps my channel to grow. Thank you very much. That's been it. Ciao.